Hello and welcome back to another Dare to Game video. Today we are going to be talking about Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 and everything we know about it so far. So this will include some basic information, but most of what I'll be discussing today is going to be information gleaned from the first two developer live streams that Warhorse Studios has produced so far. They are both on their official YouTube channel and are each about 2 hours long. So if you would like to see them in their entirety, I recommend checking them out right after this video. With all that being said, let's dive on in. So picture this, a medieval world without magic or dragons, where knights clash on the battlefield, peasants toil in the fields, and political intrigue shapes the fate of kingdoms. That's the unique experience Kingdom Come Deliverance delivered to players back in 2018. It stood out in the crowded world of RPGs by grounding itself in the brutal reality of 15th century Bohemia, a time of political upheaval, war, and survival. It wasn't just a game, it was a deeply immersive journey into history. Now Warhorse Studios is preparing to take us back with Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, promising a richer story, more refined gameplay, and a detailed medieval world. The sequel looks to improve on everything fans loved about the original while introducing exciting new features and mechanics. Whether you're a longtime fan who has been eagerly waiting for Henry's story to continue, or a newcomer wondering what all the hype is about, this video will cover everything we know about the game so far. From an expanded story set during a civil war, to revamped combat, enhanced realism, new crafting systems, and surprising gameplay mechanics. There's a lot to unpack. We'll make sure you leave fully informed about what makes Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 one of the most anticipated games of the coming year. So sit back, relax, and get ready to dive into everything we know about this incredible medieval RPG. So section 1, we're going to be talking about the story and the setting. So let's just start with the story. For those unfamiliar with Kingdom Come Deliverance, the first game followed the journey of Henry, the son of a blacksmith whose quiet life was shattered when his village was attacked and his family was brutally murdered during the chaos of a civil war in 15th century Bohemia. Set in 1403, the game wove Henry's personal quest for vengeance into the larger political struggles of the Holy Roman Empire, creating a story that was both deeply personal and historically grounded. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 picks up where the original left off, throwing players back into Bohemia, still torn apart by civil war. This time, the stakes are higher, with Henry facing not only more dangerous and skilled enemies, but also more powerful figures, including kings and even emperors. The game promises to delve deeper into the political and social complexities of the time, introducing new layers of intrigue, alliances, and betrayals. What makes this story particularly intriguing is its approach to Henry's character. In this game, Henry's journey is described as one from a man to a warrior, but not necessarily a hero. This opens the door for morally complex choices, and your decisions will have a significant impact on how this story unfolds. The game offers multiple endings, meaning your actions and choices throughout the game will shape Henry's fate and the world around him. The setting is also expanding significantly. The sequel's world is said to be over twice as large as the original, encompassing both the breathtaking natural beauty of the Bohemian Paradise and Trotsky Castle in one map, and the historic city of Kutna-Hora or Kutenberg and all of its surrounding lands in another map. The expanded world promises a more dynamic and varied environment for players to explore, with both lush landscapes and bustling urban areas. Section 2, and this is one of the biggest ones, is gameplay enhancements. If there's one thing that Kingdom Come Deliverance is known for, it's the realism and the depth of its gameplay systems. From the nuanced combat to the immersive survival mechanics, the game set a high bar for medieval open-world RPGs. With Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, Warhorse Studios is building on that foundation, promising an even more refined and engaging experience. The combat has seen some significant upgrades. If you thought the original game's system was intricate, this sequel takes it to another level. The game now features a wider range of advanced combat combos, rewarding players who master their weapons with devastatingly effective techniques. Master strikes, those satisfying counterattacks in the first game, have been adjusted to require more strategy. They're less powerful now and can leave you open to counterattacks from skilled opponents. Slow motion effects during master strikes and other parts of combat have been removed entirely, encouraging a more aggressive and dynamic playstyle and making sure that it is implemented in a much smoother method. The way that Tobi described this in the streams, is that this system is designed to be smoother and to work better, so it's easier to get into than the first one's was, but it's also even more difficult to master. So you can definitely play it a lot easier than the first game's combat, but the skill gap is going to be much larger. So if you get tremendously good at the game and good at the combat, you will be able to reach levels that you could not in the first game, if that makes any sense. Another thing that a lot of people care about is polearms, and they have been majorly upgraded in this one. Unlike the original game, where they were limited to specific scenarios, you can now carry polearms in your inventory and swap to them at will. This opens up a lot of new strategies for players who prefer long-reach polearm type weapons, like spears. As far as other stuff, weapons and gear management has also been improved. Customizable weapon belts allow players to quickly switch between their primary and secondary weapons during combat. Clothing options now include quick slots for potions, so you can use them without accessing menus. Additionally, helmet visors can now be raised and lowered manually, giving you more control in combat. And it's important to note that enemies will actively target exposed body parts, adding a tactical layer to your armor choices and whether or not you are going to be sacrificing visibility for protection when it comes to things like a visor on a helmet. Hygiene and stealth are also more nuanced. Staying clean affects how NPCs treat Henry and his ability to perform stealth actions. Getting dirty happens slower than it did in the first game, but specific actions like grave digging, for example, will make you filthy much faster. This realism extends to Henry's smell, which will influence how NPCs react to him, and it will also impact his stealth effectiveness. In the stream, they specifically said you may be trying to do a stealth attack, and the enemy might actually smell you if you stink too bad. The crime and punishment system have also been completely overhauled. Actions have far more serious consequences now, and the system plays a much larger role in gameplay. NPCs will remember your deeds, and your reputation will be affected accordingly. Character progression has also been revamped. Henry's skills will partially reset at or near the start of the game to allow for balanced growth. The level cap has been significantly raised, and perks have been reworked to feel a lot more meaningful. Hidden perks can now be unlocked, or can still be unlocked, I should say, by completing special actions similar to the nettle picking and cumin slayer perks in the first game. To make preparation easier, players can save up to 3 different outfits and swap between them seamlessly. So you can have a town outfit or a speech outfit, something fancy. You can have a stealth outfit for, your less lawful actions or stealth attacks, and of course you can have your heavy armor or whatever combination. You can save up to 3 outfits and switch to them seamlessly. So that's a huge change that a lot of people wanted over after the first game. Section 3 is crafting and potions. Crafting is another area that has been expanded. The alchemy minigame has been updated to make it a lot smoother and faster while retaining the same core mechanics. And in the second stream, they were talking about another system that has gotten similar updates and is going to be very hands-on, much like the alchemy system. It's widely believed that this is the smithing system, which they have confirmed is a part of the game, and so I would say it's a safe bet that that's what they were talking about in the stream, even though they didn't want to give away too many details for fear of spoiling something that I feel like they probably have put a lot of time and work into. So I don't know if it will be weapons and armor, I don't know if it'll be repair only, but we do know that there is a smithing system in the game, and now we know, or at least we have a really good and safe bet, that it's going to be hands-on like the alchemy minigame is. On the other side of the alchemy part, potions have also seen a major overhaul. Their effects are far more impactful this time around, and there are different quality levels for how well you do it. So it's now much harder to fail brewing a potion, but if you screw it up just a little bit, you're going to get a weak version, whereas if you do it absolutely perfectly, you'll get a strong version, and the effects of those potions are going to be affected by the quality level. And saving the game still requires Save Your Schnapps, the potion from the first game, but Save Your Schnapps is much easier to acquire in this game, reducing the stress of finding them during critical moments. Basically, you should always have a good supply of Save Your Schnapps, and it's not too hard to get them or too expensive like it was in the first game, especially early in the game. Section 4, returning favorites and new features. One of the most heartwarming pieces of news about Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is the return of Pebbles, Henry's loyal horse from the first game that you're gifted from Sir Hanish after saving Hans Kapan's life. This time around, Pebbles isn't just handed to you though. They did say in the stream that you will have to find him, so I wonder if you start with him and then lose him and then you have to find him again. But whatever the case is, they said you'll have to find him, but they also said that you would be able to upgrade Pebbles into a much better horse, possibly making him faster, stronger, and more reliable than ever before. This is huge news because Pebbles was not a great horse. It was one of the worst horses in the first game. It was fun to have him because you were gifted this horse, but there were much, much better horses, and so most people, myself included, pretty much never played the game with Pebbles. We would go get one of the other, a tier 4 or 5 horse from one of the many stables, and so it is interesting that Pebbles will be able to get trained or upgraded in some way to be a much more viable endgame possibly horse. So that was cool news for all the fans of Pebbles out there. Not only are we getting Pebbles back, but they even have added something to make him into a better horse. So that's great. A photo mode has also been added, allowing players to capture the game's stunning visuals. However, it cannot be abused for stealth, since every single time you exit out of the photo mode, Henry will comment on it in a way. So if you're taking a picture or something like that, he might say something like, "Wow, what a view." But they made it so that what he says can be heard by NPCs in the game. So you can't just cheese the photo mode to try and look around corners and stuff to see how you need to be stealthy. I like that they added in a photo mode, but I also liked that they made it so you can't just abuse it, because I feel like anything that hurts the realism and immersion is a bad thing for this experience. Another limitation remains from the first game. Henry cannot swim. People have been asking this question since the very first footage was dropped for KCD2, where it shows Henry and Hans about to go swimming. They confirmed in the stream Henry cannot swim. He's going to try multiple times in the story, but it goes very poorly, and he is not able to swim. So you will not be able to just swim around lakes or across rivers or anything like that in this game. So that's been confirmed. Henry cannot swim. Section 5 is technical improvements and historical accuracy. So the game is powered by a heavily customized version of the Cry engine, ensuring better visuals, smoother performance, and more immersive environments. From the gameplay that they've been showing, you can tell it is a night and day difference. It looks very similar. It definitely feels like a similar game, so if you loved the aesthetic of the first game, don't worry, it's still there. The fidelity is just much higher in this game. So that's all been improved. For storytelling enthusiasts, you'll be interested. They have confirmed that there's over 5 hours of cinematic cutscenes designed to immerse you in the narrative and highlight the consequences of your choices. So this is big. Now, a lot of people are like, yeah, well, I want to play a game, not watch it. Me too, but remember, 5 hours out of, I think I remember in the first couple streams them talking about it and saying that this is longer than the first game, and there were averages thrown out of 60 to 80 hours to complete this game. Now, I have no idea how accurate that is and how much of that depends on how you approach the game. For me, personally, it's going to take way longer than that, because once I've got this game, I'll be playing it nonstop for a while. If it's anything like the first game, I played it for over a year. So, lengthwise, that's a big thing, but 5 hours is a lot of cinematic cutscenes. That's a lot, which means that the story is probably very beefy, and there's probably variety of cutscenes, so maybe you won't see every single cutscene, every single playthrough. It'll depend on your actions, but that's good news if you care about the story being well-bodied. Warhorse Studios continues its dedication to historical accuracy with this game. They were once again collaborating with historians and universities to ensure that all these details are very authentic. So, good news for those of us out there that want a very fun game, but also really love having a historically authentic experience in this type of game. The game also expands its representation of medieval Bohemia to reflect its historical diversity. So, it's going to be set in Kuttenberg. This means there are going to be a lot of people there. The first game was fairly homogenous. There's a little bit of German kind of stuff creeping in from here and there, and of course the Cumans coming in with a little bit there, but it was mostly Czech people, right? The fact that a big part of this game is set in Kuttenberg means that there's potential for Italians, Poles, possibly, there's all sorts of things just in the Holy Roman Empire. That could be Lithuanians for all I know, but a lot of variety there in that aspect. We could be seeing Frenchmen for all I know. The fact is, the first game was set in a very small area that did not probably historically get a lot of traffic from the rest of Europe, whereas Kuttenberg is one of the biggest, most important centers in the area. Like, it's a big deal, so it makes a lot of sense that you're going to have a lot more European-style diversity coming across there, and we've seen in the footage certainly a lot of examples of that in clothing and armor, so that is all excellent news. And finally, for the technical improvement section, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is completely DRM-free, no de novo, so this should ensure a player-friendly experience. I know this is something people were worried about. There was a lot of fear-mongering going on. The devs and Daniel Vavra himself, they've all confirmed the game does not have any DRM. It will be essentially the same as the first game in that regard, so no de novo. If someone said it is, they are misinformed, so that will not be in this game. And finally, Section 6, the release information and additions. This stuff is all stuff that hopefully you know by now, but the game launches on February 11th, 2025 for PC, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series X/S X/S. So that's it. As far as I know, there's no last gen versions being released. There's nothing announced for like the Switch or anything like that. It's just PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X/S. And there are 3 editions that are available. The standard edition, which is just the game, and if you pre-order that, you also will get the bonus quest, the Lion's Crest, which, as far as I know, is a quest or mission of some sort that will result in you getting a suit of armor. And it's unique armor that can only be got this way, but that's all I know about it. It may be very good armor, it may be very middle-of-the-road armor. My guess would be it's going to be something somewhat comparable to the Warhorse armor from the first game, which was fairly good mid-tier armor that had a very unique look to it, but wasn't the best stuff you could get in the game. So it was cool to have, but it wasn't essential. But, that's all just speculation at this point, and that's just a pre-order bonus, so you will get that for any edition if you pre-order it. Then there's the upgraded one, which is the Gold Edition. That adds the Gallant Huntsman's Kit, and you get the expansion pass, and they have said there are going to be 3 DLCs, just like they had DLCs planned for the first game, they have them planned for this one. So if you get the expansion pass with the Gold Edition, that means you get the, and you pre-order it, you get the Lion's Crest pre-order bonus, you get the Gallant Huntsman's Kit, and you get the expansion pass, which will be 3 DLCs. So the Gold Edition is essentially the full edition, the premium edition, whatever you want to call it. Then there's a collector's edition, which includes everything from the Gold Edition, plus you get some physical collectibles, which looked pretty cool. There was a lot of stuff on there. I didn't order it because, I don't have a bunch of money sitting around for collectible editions, plus I don't have a bunch of space for all that type of stuff. It looked cool. I definitely would have liked one, but, I didn't order one. And as far as I know, they're sold out everywhere except for in the United States. You can still pre-order and get the collector's edition through GameStop. So if you're really interested in doing that, do that. The devs themselves have highlighted this, and I will repeat it again here. Do not buy it from scalpers. It's not so special that you need to pay someone a bunch of money who only bought it to then scalp and take advantage of other people and charge them a bunch more from it. This is just me saying, personally, I never support scalpers. I think it's a horrible habit to do, and all you have to do is stop buying things from them, and they will lose all their power, all their money, and they will not do it anymore. So just don't buy it from scalpers. If you want one, you can still get it, at least at the moment of recording this video, from GameStop in the United States. Otherwise, I guess tough, but it's not that big of a deal. But anyway, like I said, pre-ordering any of these editions will get you the Lion's Crest bonus quest. But yeah, that's all the released information and editions, so we'll all be playing it on February 11th, 2025. And that's everything we know so far about Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. So from an expanded and immersive story to advanced combat, refined realism, and exciting new features like a new crafting system and pole arms being regular weapons and pebbles coming back, this sequel is shaping up to be truly special. Whether you're a returning fan or a newcomer, there's never been a better time to prepare for this medieval adventure. So let us know what excites you most down in the comment section below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates, as I will of course be covering every bit of news on this game, and once it comes out, that's all you're going to see me doing. So that's all for today. Hope you enjoyed the video. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching another Dare to Game video. If you liked this video, please leave a like and a comment. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the channel. If you like my content and would like to support this channel, consider becoming a member today for as little as $1.99 a month. It makes a huge difference. But in any case, thanks for watching and have a nice day. I'll see you next time.